was making a critical mistake with my baby every single day, multiple times a day, and I had absolutely no idea I was interfering with her brain development. A pediatric neurologist watched me interact with my 9-month-old for just 10 minutes and then said something that made my stomach drop. She said, "I need you to understand what's happening in your baby's brain right now, because what you're doing is accidentally disrupting the most important developmental process of her entire life." I felt sick. This wasn't something obvious like letting her watch too much TV or feeding her junk food. This was something so subtle that 90% of well-meaning parents do it constantly without realizing the harm. Once she explained what was happening and why it mattered, I fixed it immediately. Within 2 weeks, I saw changes in my daughter's engagement, her language development, and her overall responsiveness that I never expected. If you have a baby or toddler under 3, hit that like button and subscribe right now because this hidden mistake could be affecting your child's brain development. And you need to know about it today so you can fix it starting right now. Let me tell you exactly what I was doing wrong, and I need you to really hear me on this because you're probably doing it too. The mistake is something called distracted caregiving, and it's when you're physically with your baby but mentally somewhere else. I was changing my daughter's diaper while scrolling through my phone. I was feeding her while watching TV or thinking about my to-do list. I was playing with her while also trying to respond to texts or mentally planning dinner. I thought I was multitasking effectively, being with my baby while also getting things done. But here's what I didn't understand. During the first 3 years of life, a baby's brain is developing faster than it ever will again. 1 million neural connections are being formed every single second. And those connections are built through something called serve and return interactions with caregivers. Here's how serve and return work, and this is critical. Your baby makes a sound, a coo, a babble, a cry. That's the serve. When you respond immediately with eye contact, words, facial expressions, or touch, that's the return. This back-and-forth interaction literally builds your baby's brain architecture. It creates neural pathways for language, social skills, emotional regulation, and cognitive development. But when you're distracted, when your baby serves, and you don't return because you're looking at your phone or your attention is elsewhere, those opportunities for brain building are lost, and it's not just one missed opportunity here and there. If you're chronically distracted during caregiving, you're missing thousands of these critical brain-building moments every single day. The research on this is detailed and honestly heartbreaking. Studies show that babies whose parents are frequently distracted by phones or other devices during interactions show delays in language development, reduced social engagement, and less secure attachment. Brain scans show actual differences in brain structure in areas related to language and emotional processing. We're not talking about occasional distraction. We're talking about chronic distracted caregiving as a pattern. If you want to give your baby the best start in life, subscribe right now and turn on notifications because we share science-backed parenting strategies that actually support healthy development. When the neurologist explained this to me, I felt offensive at first. I'm with my baby all day, I thought. How could I be harming her development? But then she had me track my interactions for 1 day. Every time I was caring for my baby, feeding, changing, playing, bathing, I noted whether I was fully present or distracted. The results were shocking. Out of probably 50 interactions throughout the day, I was fully present for maybe 10 of them. The rest of the time, I was on my phone, watching TV, or mentally somewhere else. My body was there, but my mind and attention were not. Here's what happens in your baby's brain when you're distracted during interactions. Your baby looks at you, makes a sound, reaches for you. These are all bids for connection. When you don't respond because you're looking at your phone, your baby's brain doesn't get the feedback it needs. The neural pathways that should be forming from that interaction don't develop as strongly. Your baby learns that their attempts to connect don't consistently result in a response, which affects their developing sense of self and their trust in relationships. But it goes deeper than that. Babies learn language not from hearing words on TV or from educational apps. They learn from responsive back-and-forth conversations with a real person who's tuned into them. When you narrate what you're doing while making eye contact, when you respond to their babbles with enthusiasm, when you mimic their sounds back to them, you're teaching them the rhythm of conversation, the turn-taking, the connection between sounds and meaning. Distracted caregiving interrupts all of that. Comment below right now and be completely honest. How often are you on your phone while caring for your baby? No judgment, just awareness. Here's what I did to fix this mistake, and I want to give you really practical steps because knowing about the problem isn't enough. First, I created phone-free zones and times. My phone doesn't come into the nursery during diaper changes or bedtime routine. It stays in another room during meal times and bath time. During floor play time, my phone is on silent in a drawer. This wasn't easy at first. I felt anxious being separated from my phone. I worried I'd miss something important. But I realized nothing is more important than these brain-building moments with my baby. Second, I started practicing what I call full presence caregiving. During routine care moments, diaper changes, feeding, and getting dressed, I narrate what I'm doing with full attention on my baby. I'm changing your diaper now. This might feel cold. Now we're putting on a clean diaper. You're so patient. I make eye contact, I smile, I respond to every sound she makes. What used to be mindless tasks became opportunities for connection and brain building. Third, I committed to respond to every serve my baby makes when I'm with her. When she babbles, I babble back. When she reaches for me, I respond immediately. When she looks at me, I make eye contact and smile. This doesn't mean I'm entertaining her every second. It means when she initiates a connection, I return it consistently. This predictable responsiveness is what builds secure attachment and healthy brain development. Fourth, I scheduled specific times to check my phone instead of having it constantly accessible. I check messages and social media during nap time or after bedtime, not during the moments I'm with my baby. This boundary helped me be actually present instead of half present all the time. Here's what changed after I fixed this mistake and committed to fully present caregiving for 1 month. My daughter's language exploded. She went from a few babbles to constantly vocalizing and clearly trying to communicate. Her eye contact increased. Her engagement during play became more focused and sustained. She seemed happier and more secure. And honestly, I enjoyed being with her so much more because I was actually there, not physically present but mentally absent. But there's something else that happened that I didn't expect. My own mental health improved. I was less anxious and overwhelmed because I wasn't constantly splitting my attention between my baby and my phone. I was more present in my whole life, not just with my baby. Breaking the distraction habit created space for me to actually experience motherhood instead of just surviving it. I want to address something important. I'm not saying you can never use your phone or that you need to be staring at your baby with full attention every waking moment. That's not realistic, and it's not healthy. Babies need downtime too. They need to learn to play independently and self-soothe. What I'm saying is that during caregiving interactions, during the moments when your baby is seeking connection with you, put the phone down and be fully there. The research shows that what matters is the quality and consistency of responsiveness during interactions, not being perfectly attentive every single second. Also, if you're a parent who struggles with postpartum depression, anxiety, or overwhelming stress, please hear me with compassion. Sometimes the phone is a lifeline, a connection to support, or a mental break. If you're in that place, please reach out for help. These suggestions are for overall patterns, not moments when you're genuinely struggling to cope. Here's a simple way to think about this. Your baby's brain is being built right now today, in these everyday moments of interaction. Every time you make eye contact, respond to a sound, narrate an activity with full presence, you're building neural architecture that will serve your child for their entire life. Every time you're distracted and miss those moments, those opportunities are lost. This isn't about guilt, it's about awareness and choice. If this video opened your eyes to distracted caregiving and you're realizing how much you're on your phone around your baby, please share this with another parent. So many of us are making this mistake without knowing the impact. Drop a comment and tell me honestly, are you going to make changes? What's your biggest challenge with putting the phone down? And make sure you're subscribed because we're building a community of parents who understand child development and make intentional choices based on science, not just convenience or cultural norms. Thank you for being here and for caring enough about your baby's brain development to watch this and consider changing your habits. Small shifts in daily interactions create massive impacts on your child's developing brain.